Well, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to Wednesday, the 25th of October. It's 41 degrees out here. I think the high today is supposed to be about 49, and mostly rain. Around 1 o'clock, it looks like it's supposed to start clearing off and be pretty here in Toledo. I don't know what it's going to do in Vancouver. Usually about the same, a little bit warmer, but it can be drastically different between the two. I really like the blue skies I'm seeing right now, though. We'll take it. Bring it on. All right, let's start off hump day. Yo, come on. 48 degrees. Got somebody that has now acquired our spot here the last couple of mornings. So we're kind of stuck, wedged in a weird spot. You see that guy put a Cadillac grill on the front of that truck. But anyway, we made it to hump day.
We did.
The proverbial halfway point.
Almost there.
Yeah, we're rolling from here. Well, Mama,
It's a hot.
have yourself a wonderful Wednesday, and I'll see you as the day goes on.
All
All right. Love you. See you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye now.
Bye.
This gal brought her triple black 23 1250GS down from Alaska. Gets here to Washington, and it was shipped down here. I don't know if she hauled it or had a shipping company send it or whatever, I'm not sure, but so she gets here to Washington State and it runs like poop. So we hook it up. There's no codes, no updates or anything needed. So we reset all the adaptive values. It's fired it up, and just like she explained, it huckabucks and carries on, and it still thinks it's in Alaska somewhere. So I let it run. You only need to let it run till it gets to 140 degrees. But I let them run for 15 minutes and let her sit there and cycle, and just let her sit outside and run and let her relearn everything. And now it's just perfect. This thing, we got the new battery in for it, and it was the wrong size. So this is a little cheapo thing that Parts let me borrow so I could test ride it. This is one that'll take, but that they had that in stock. It wasn't even in inventory, and it's bad. I mean, 0 voltage. We received it in 2016 with our initial order. The other cool thing is I got those Muse transmission kits. Initially, I'm going to put it in the Bronco and see how well that works in it. It's nice. It comes with a nice set of sealed bearings, but the Endura kit already had the bearings in there, so I'm not even going to bother taking them out. So I'll just save those bearings because you can use them elsewhere, but mostly in the transmission, the smallest size ones. But I hope this is going to work. This is that in between. You know, the stock it's exact numbers, but I'll just say it's 16-1, and then the crawler or the low-speed transmission is 40-1, and this one is like 25 or 27, somewhere around there. So it's in between. And some of the reviews on them, people were saying that, especially if you put the Endura 180 Pro motor in there, you have basically the full speed, but you have the crawl ability, and that Endura motor has a little more torque, so it said this works out perfect. So we'll be trying that out. Yay. Here we are with that Alaska bike. Looks like I have a small brake, even though percentage of rain right now is 90%. Got a small brake that I can take her for a ride. So I let it completely cool down while I was messing with other things, and started up, and yeah, it's nice and smooth. I just thought it was up in Alaska somewhere, probably at some crazy high altitude. And if she'd have rode it here, it would have slowly self-adjusted itself during the trip, but can't blame her for not riding it this time of year. From Alaska? Nope. got the option 719 mirrors on this thing. That's kind of cool. That thing's gonna rattle around up there and drive me nuts. I usually leave them in there because you can walk off with their fob, key, or whatever, so it's best to have them nearby. And when we're done, you know, we take everything upstairs. Unless the bike is being left inside, then we leave the key with it. And they know if myself or Tim works on it, the key will be with it. Oh, look at this. How about that? Imagine that, noisy tires on a GS or GSA. It's just the nature of the beast. There's a like a cover you can put in there that's like crazy expensive for a piece of plastic, but when it's all said and done, it looks pretty cool. But we haven't had anybody buy one yet. It really is not that much of a deal that I'd even worry about it. And I think it's actually more for trying to keep air from coming through there, which I would want it to, because you want to you know, reduce the amount of negative pressure behind that shield, because it'll swirl around and create head buffing and all kinds of stuff. That's quite the gauge you got on something that has a fixed fence behind it. So it's my assumption the fixed fence is not going to last very long. Trying to avoid the water holes because I don't have any type of rain gear on. Get my little feeties all wet, make me cry. Wouldn't be the first time. Ooh, that's a pretty tree. Oh, you get them needles on the road. Look out, Jack. That's some kind of slippery. I remember racing through the hills when I was a youngster, and it's crazy how fast I'd go through there, and you'd get off the beaten track and hit them leaves, and of course you were young, had reflexes like a cat. You just dealt with it. She'd pitch around and carry on a little bit, but you made it through it. That's big old heavy CB750Fs and stuff like that, which nowadays, if you were to ride one, that's, I mean, at the time it was great, but nowadays that would be considered a fairly poor handling motorcycle. And I think they had a whopping, what, 78, 79 horsepower. But man, at the time, that was fast. That was some cool stuff. Plus, you know, Honda was racing that thing in the AMA Superbike stuff that were, of course, they were 1,000 something cc's. I forget what it was. They had basically a 900F crank and a big bore kit. What was that? 1,019 cc's. There was a limit for the capacity for the inline fours. Oh, them things were so cool, and they sounded insane. If you guys ever went and watched any of those races live, of course they used to come to Portland every year, so we got to see all that cool stuff. Now they don't come anywhere near us, which can't blame them. Even though they're coming in like June or July, there's a high likelihood it could rain. Hope you're okay there, lady. You don't look like you're too happy there. Hope everything in your world is alright. I had to put her shield down. It's so covered in mud. And of course, you know, where my camera is, you're looking right through it, so I apologize. I can't ride lifted up. I mean, I see over it by a mile. In comparison, my eyes are probably about right in here, but camera's sitting at the below my chin. It's on the chin of my full face helmet. I guess it's well, yeah, it's about level with my chin basically. Speed limit through here. I never, oh, 35 was, I think it's 45 where I was, so this looks like might be a police officer rolling up behind me there. Wow, it's colder out here than what I thought. Mike's saying 47. I think that's about what it is. But yeah, these gloves, they breathe pretty well. I picked the wrong gloves. I should have grabbed my 100%. But they're so day glow yellow. Those sure do work good. But 100% is the name of the company, and they're aqua whatever. But they do eventually get wet, and then they work like a wetsuit. Actually, that worked really well on the trip. I had the heaters, grip heaters on. It was actually heating the water in the gloves, so it actually worked really well. But it takes a long time for the water to get through. Once, it's kind of like an old tent, you know, if you touched it while it was raining, that would be a leaking spot. Well, once they start to get wet, then it's easy for them to, then they just stay wet until they dry out. And they don't come apart when they dry. They just dry out and they're back to their normal self. It's amazing how much rain you can go through before they get wet. But that rain we were going through in Oregon on the last day of the trip, that was enough to get anything wet. If you had a leak anywhere, this van's really making me nervous. I'm trying to let you know I'm turning. Put the dadgum phone down. Minivan full of kids. Can you believe it? What's scary is probably hauling somebody else's kids, you know, along with them, you know. It's crazy what you see out here these days. And if something goes wrong, then it's somebody else's fault. So what? But yeah, this thing's way smoother. I had to go upstairs, even with the little bit of gas I put in there. When I rode it up the hill, it said it had 27 miles of range, and then the, you know, the little post-it warnings just hit the nearest service station. So I mean, it was literally on fumes, and it smelled. I think they got E15 up in Alaska, don't they? Something like that. Maybe wrong, I don't know, but it smelled like pure alcohol in the tank. So that probably wasn't helping anything either. Now listen, I don't need to do this today. I just loop through. Them leaves can be quite slippery too. You'd be surprised. Add a little foliage between the road and your tires and they get slickery. When you're a kid, that's super fun, man. That's a perfect excuse to just light them up. Wop, pop, pop, pop. She's a good old gal. The bike. I don't know her. I haven't met her, so I'm not. So yeah, I'm talking about the motorcycle. Sorry if you're watching. I didn't mean anything. I was talking about your lovely motorcycle. I wasn't implying anything. That old gals have been driving that FJ Cruiser. Those things came out in 07, yeah. And we bought one in 08 when they, right after they came out. It's like, gotta have one. And I was here at the time, and I think I even spoke to her once. I walked out, said something to her, but every day that thing's out there. All these years later, she's still driving it. look at all the needles on the ground here. Ooh, that's epic. Look at that. Must have been through all the windstorm last night. How cool. Try not to disturb it. Isn't that cool? I tried to get off the bike as smooth as I could, not to leave any tracks. But now I'm looking, the tires didn't even leave a track. That's cool. All the needles falling out of them fir trees. Is that cool or what? Ooh, I bet that's slippery though. Yeah, you don't see many bikes coming from Alaska, even when they're hauled down here. Of course, you could have hauled it in an open trailer. You don't normally see them very clean. This wild country up there. Triple black. This is a 23 even. Remote key not in range. Oh, I stepped in front of the bike. It absolutely will not read the key in front of it. Like you walk up like they're lined up, like in the shop, and I lean over, I go to try to unlock the steering. No, won't see me. Got to be this side of the bike. Key will not read forward. And I think of, why do they do that? It's not like you're gonna start it and put it in gear, or that it'll start in gear with the side stand down or anything weird like that. It won't start with a clutch out with it in gear. They got enough redundant safety things on here, but I'm sure the reason is so you don't run yourself over. I'm just trying to figure out how you might do that. Because if the bike's running, you'll just get the warning just like it was. It won't shut off. God, them trees down that street are beautiful back there. Wish I could have stopped and gandered at her a little bit more. Yeah, I had this one little window. I'm watching the rains aloft heading right for us, but I missed it. Not even so much as oh, now that I say that, I feel a light little mist hitting me in the face. And here we are. How about that? Didn't think I was going to see a BMW take you for a ride on in a while. I knew that S1000 was the thing, but yeah. Took a GS from Alaska for a ride. How about that? Alright. Thanks for coming for the ride. Well, hello there, YouTube. Holy moly. This is literally just moments after sunset. Mm-hmm. But there's clouds. We actually had some sunshine coming home. But everything was wet, so it must have just passed. But anyway, it was nice to see some sunshine and drive roads for a little bit there. Mm-hmm. That's nice, considering we left early because there's lightning and big, nasty black clouds, and everybody's going, you and Kelly need to get out of here. So, anyway, went a little bit early, but we missed the craziness of it anyway. Yeah. But anyway, it was a fun day. Mm-hmm. Got to tinker with a BMW. It seems like, I don't know, goes in weird swings. It's like Spyder, BMW. It's weird. You just never know. You can't control what they bring in, No. Get people go, oh, you don't do any BMWs anymore. I can't force them to bring them in. Vice versa, do what the Spyders do. But anyway, I think on that, it's cold and heck out here, and we'll roll out. Cold.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, and you guys have an amazing Thursday or Friday.
Heck yeah. All right.
See you in the morning.
All right. Thanks for watching now. Bye-bye.